Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This is the continuing Adventures of Azra. She completed the first dungeon level. She's not feeling the best of health. She's got what? 3 health, bit of stamina, 1 blessing. It's going to be tough. But let's see how far she goes. Maybe she can get to the end of the second level. She's still got Bogdana with her, who's got an umbrella of 2 at the moment. And a few gold. She's got a backpack full of stuff though. But she needs some healing. Let's go down to the dungeon and see what's going on. So if you're just joining us here on this dungeon, I'd say go back to the first level. You can see how she was taken out, or taking quite a lot of damage anyway. With 4 plot points in, 10 plot points, we get to encounter the big bad. On the first dungeon level, we had the shadow, was the environmental effect. So we're going to draw a new environment and see what we've got. Death Grotto. This is a cheerful place, isn't it? Okay. A chill runs up your spine as you find yourself in the murky catacombs lined with the lost souls of the distant past. All undead enemies on this level add +2 to their damage during the combat. You may not resolve the altar card on this level. When drawing a plot card, draw 2 and pick 1 to resolve, discarding the other. And all undead enemies on this level that you defeat gain you an additional gold. So I suppose swings, roundabouts. Yeah. Okay, here's my little dungeon deck. I have shuffled, but we'll shuffle it again. Right. So remember, I draw 2 cards. And we get to look at one of them. And then we might get to look at the other one if we don't like what we see on the first one. So I'm going to start over here. And start off with an ambush. So we could ambush. You catch your foe by surprise and gain the upper hand. Draw an enemy card and ignore their initial damage. Add the dungeon level to their health. This is dungeon level 2 now. So that means we got the we attack effectively first. So yeah, let's draw an enemy and see what we get. It's a wraith. Initial damage and counter strikes both steal 1 blessing. Okay, well, we're attacking it before it attacks us. Bogdana's not going to like this. She's affected by anything that's got more than 5 health. This has got 7 to start with. Add the dungeon level to the health. So they've got 9 health. Okay. Let's put, now, it's undead. And we got some holy water we could chuck at it. You may discard this card to deal 2d6 damage +5 to undead. That could be useful, couldn't it? We'll do that before it gets a chance to do anything, because we've technically ambushed it. 2d6 damage +5. Five plus 5 is 10. Woo. Now, am I doing this right? All undead enemies on this level add 2 to their damage during combat. Okay, you may resolve it right. So you draw a plot card. All undead enemies on this level that you defeat gain you an additional gold. So I gain a gold for that because it hasn't got any gold, but I also get 2 loot from it too. Ooh. But the holy water's gone. What do we get instead? Undeath potion and a shield. Subtract 1 from both initial damage and counter strikes. That could be useful. Discard to destroy any undead foe with 5 or less base health, or discard to make an enemy weak to undead. Well, we can keep both of them, so let's keep both at the moment. We've just lost the holy water, which is good. The wraith goes in there. Bogdana, she doesn't like anything that's got more than 5 health, so her morale goes down to 1. I pay her another gold. Come on, girl. Stick with me. Oops. So she's back to 2. Okay. That wasn't too bad as first encounters go in this level. Okay, let's put those 2 over there. Draw on the next 2. Now, what I'm going to do at this point, before I go any further, all right, she has accumulated 4 experience points. So she's going to spend 3 of those on, hopefully, she's an agility based character. So I go through the skills here and see if anything So anything with agility, martial arts, brawn, dodge could be useful. Conceal, archery, she hasn't got a bow. Shadow, mine. Anything with agility only costs her 3 points, 3 experience points. Anything with mind or brawn would cost her 4. So, brawn, agility, 6 sense, brawn, mind. I think we've seen all these. Right. Martial arts, you do not need a hand weapon to roll damage. No, we like your bare fist deal 2 damage. No. Gain 1 less poison damage from the arrow trap. Yeah, okay. Conceal, you may attempt to avoid a skirmish. Could be useful. Archery, when using a bow, we haven't found a bow, so no. Shadow, when with a dagger in your primary, no. Dash, once per dungeon level, you may spend energy to avoid any dungeon card. Roll to see how much energy you spend. I do like this 6th sense. This is one that I used last time, but it seems the best. Parry? That's poor anyway. I think we'll take 6th sense. It's a good one. And she is an agility-based character. So she's now got fortitude and agility, so she can avoid 1 ambush or reveal both dungeon cards and choose 1 to resolve. Well, we'll keep that in mind. We've already seen 1 ambush so far on this. I mean, the second card could have been ambush. We don't know. All right, so she's used 3 of her experience points. I'm going to show that by just turning 3 of these over. Okay, accumulate another 3. She gain another skill. Right, so that's the gaining stuff part. She's also now going to change her weapon outlook. Now that she's got a shield, she's going to put the shield, so we've got to keep those there. She's now got a shield. She puts the spear on her back, and she's now armed with a long sword, which die results of 6 deal an extra point of damage, and subtract 1 from both initial damage and counter strikes. So hopefully that with the 6th sense we can start avoiding. We still need to find some potions. She's only got 3 health. Anywho, what we're going to look at now. Well, we looked at that one last time, so look at this one. It's a skirmish. Let's look at this one then. It's an arrow trap. Okay. Your greed has you walking blindly into a storm of arrows. Gain 2 poison tokens. That's not good. I've got to try and get rid of them before the end of this dungeon level. Otherwise they could come at me badly. Couldn't dodge them. So I was trying to hope it wasn't going to be an ambush. Or I was hoping it was an ambush, which I could avoid. All right, so let's try this one. Campsite. Campsite. You have spied a relatively quiet location to set up camp. It will not be long before you attract attention to yourself. Choose one of the following actions. Right. Bogdana, earn your bloody money. All right. When at the campsite, she will cook you a meal, gaining you 3 energy. You may choose to take an additional action yourself. So, regain 3 energy. Excellent. And so I could spend 1 ration to gain 3 energy, or search to gain 1 ration, or rest, spend 1 ration to gain 2 health and lose 1 poison. I think that's what we'll do. We'll let her cook. Spend 1 ration. That's our last ration, so we need to find some more. Where's that mushroom grove when you need it? To gain 2 health. That puts us up to a massive 5. And we lose a poison. Okay, so we're on 1 poison. Okay. So energy's not looking too bad. We've still only got 1 blessing. Bit of gold. Yeah, okay. Campsite. Finally, Bogdana did some good. Delving deeper. Right, okay, let's try this one. Clearing. Anything can happen in a clearing. Draw a plot card. Now, wasn't there something that allowed her to draw 2 plot cards? When drawing a plot card, draw 2 and pick one to resolve, discarding the other. Okay. Sounds good. So we've got the prisoner and we've got the hid in. You smell roast meat and hear the sounds of laughter and clanking dishes. Of all the places to find a secret tavern, you enter the small door and are met with friendly gazes. Eat and rest by the fire. Pay 1 gold for a meal and gain 2 health and 1 energy. Once only, or gamble. Spend 1 gold to gamble. No. The prisoner. Free the prisoner. Right. I think I'm going to go for the hid in and eat and rest by the fire. Pay 1 gold for a meal and gain 2 health and 1 energy. Can only do it once, but there we go. We've got 3 gold. Have a gold over there. That's 2 towards the eyeballs. We'll stick the unused plot point over there. So we're now at 6 eyeballs. Remember, 10 equals bad boy. Okay. So we gain 2 health and 1 energy for that nice sumptuous meal at this strange tavern in the dungeon. Right, let's push on. So we discard that and that. About halfway through this level. Let's have a look at this one this time. Mushroom Grove. You have located a grove of young mushrooms. Gain 1 ration. Always good. But nothing that adds to that, have we? No. But that's not bad. Not bad. As we push on. We need the altar now to get a blessing. Let's have a look at that one. Skirmish. Well, I suppose we've got... I mean, this could be something really nasty. We just don't know. Or it could be the altar. So what I like about the game, you're just never sure. A skirmish, though. We haven't really had a scrap down here, so I think we need to. All right, so it's a goblin. Okay, you draw your weapon and are ready for battle. Draw an enemy card and add the dungeon level plus 2 to their health. So dungeon level's 2, so he's got 6 health. 2 for himself, 2 for the dungeon level, take 6. You may avoid this conflict by spending 1 gold. Nah, I don't think so. Let's fight him. Okay. They always fight first if it doesn't say otherwise. So rolling 2 dice. Let's see what he does to me. Well, I don't know why I put that 6 there. Should have done that 6 there. Undead are stronger. He's not undead. Right, so he does 2 damage. Right. So my shield, subtract 1 from both initial damage and strikes, so he does 1 damage from his sword. Okay. I haven't got parry or anything like that, so I can't avoid it. So there's the 1 damage. Whoops. Okay, he's got 6 health, so I'm going to put 2 stamina into this fight with my sword. My now trusty longsword. Let's hope it is. I do 6, which is enough to take him down. So the goblin is no more. He's worth a gold, so I'll have that gold back. Bogdana's morale drops by 1 because whenever you face an enemy in combat with 5 or more health, she loses 1 morale. So that gold I pick up for the goblin, I give to her to keep her on board. It's all right. There's bound to be a weaker monster than a goblin somewhere. 5 health. Yeah, I don't think I'll bring her down again. But anywho, he also has 1 loot. What do we get for that? A Cinder Blade. Attack results of 6, deals 7 damage, plus 3 to the sum of your attack roll versus enemies weak to fire. I think we'll swap that the trusty longsword now becomes a cinder blade. Darn it, Goblin, what were you? Why didn't you use that? He didn't, so tough luck. Right, so that's gone. That's gone. We carry on down. A second and penultimate room by the looks of it. And we got ambush. So I have ambushed somebody, or we go for this card here. I think we'll go for this card here. Oh, wrong choice. Drat, you cannot seem to find your way out. Discard 2 rations. Lose 3 health for each ration you cannot discard. Darn it. She got 1 ration, so she discards that. And loses 3 health because she can't discard the other one. Oh, bad choice. And that puts us onto the last 2 cards. So I'm going to use my 6th sense now to look at both cards and choose one of them. Treasure or skirmish. Reveal both dungeon cards and choose one to resolve. This is interesting. It doesn't really clarify which. I presume they both have to be at the 1 level, wouldn't they? Yeah, so she gains, 1 gold. I think she's going to die in a moment, to be honest. Because she hasn't got enough food. She's got no rations. She's only got 3 health. And if you haven't got enough rations, shuffle the dungeon, right? Okay, feed your character. If you do not have a ration to spend, you must lower your health by 3. This could spell defeat, so make sure you have food at all times. She got stuck in that labyrinth. For every 2 poison tokens you currently have, you gain an additional 1. If at any point your number of poison tokens is equal to or greater than your health, you instantly die. I think she's come to a dramatic end. She dies of starvation as she's trying to progress. Well, that is a random event. Could that random event save her? It could do. All right. I'm not quite sure what order these should be done in. So let's. All right, I meant to shuffle this deck first. So nasty deck of cards. There we go. All right, so that's done. It then says, all right, she's going down. I'm going to take the random event first then. So it's a D6. Hopefully we'll gain some mushrooms. It's a 6. Random encounter. Okay, random encounter. 1 is falling rocks. 2 is poison thorns. 3, 4, fountain, gain 2 health. She gets a 2. Poison thorns, gain 1 poison. She's not having the luck, is she? And then she gets down to this level here, and then she has to feed herself. She hasn't got enough. The poison, well, she's got 3 health. She had that 1 ration that the labyrinth took. She's on 0 health, and she dies of starvation and poison racking her body. And Bogdana abandons her at that point. Okay, let's bring this back to the top. Well, these dungeons are quite tricky, especially if you don't get quite the rub from these cards here. I mean, there are what? Let's see, there are 1, 2, ambush. You got arrow trap, a campsite, 3 ambush in there. Okay, I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4 skirmish cards, 5 skirmish cards. You've got an altar, a treasure, a labyrinth, a merchant, a mushroom, a clearing, a campsite, and arrow trap. So 16 cards in total, 8 of which will involve combat of some kind, a clearing, which gives you the plot points, mushroom grove, which is a bonus, merchant, which is a bonus, labyrinth, which is nasty, which effectively took her out because she didn't have the potion, the rations to keep her going. A treasure, an altar, an arrow trap, which is nasty. So you've got 5 nice cards: the campsite, the altar, the treasure, the merchant, the mushroom grove. The clearing could go either way. I got quite a good clearing that time, the inn down there. But there's a lot of nasty cards in there. That's the first time I've actually done that. I thought there was only 2 ambush. There's 3. Okay. Well, she's no more. She had a brief stint. She didn't get through. She never got to see what the boss of this dungeon was. On to the next hero, whoever that will be. I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, it's not all. I didn't even get to draw an artifact. Some of those might have been useful, but that'll be for the next hero. Or will it? Yes, that'll be for the next hero. Give us a like if you enjoyed that. Let me know if you didn't and why you didn't. Subscribe to the channel, always helps and keeps the channel growing. And yeah, any comments will always be answered and are much appreciated. But until next time, play games, have fun. Bye, Internet.